Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fifth of the Vampyr streams. I am your host, Arun Dragon, and we will be picking up where we left off last time. I was going to go around off camera and find some of the secrets I was missing, but I found out since then. Well, actually, I did try. I started to load up I loaded up the game and compared what secrets I had found to the ones that, well, courtesy of a game guide, that I knew I was missing. And I found out that most of them, you still have to either use your vampire senses, or it's earned through discussion with one of the characters. So I decided it wasn't really worth trying to do then after. Whoop.
I know this brooch. This is my mother's. A birthday gift from father. "29 Pretty Orchard Street. That's near Poplar's district. Why would this man carry off my mother's brooch? I must go there.
But not right yet. Obviously, someone is killing people and leaving hints as to who they are. But before I do that, let's look up some more of these various secrets and such for the extra XP. Okay. I guess our first stop then is going to be probably Booth Digby. There's a house near the beginning of the docks. Oh no, not again. Oh, no, just I keep left clicking on the map trying to scroll through it. And of course you can't. Well.
It's one of them! of you bloody leeches need killing. I'll tell you! I'll send you to hell. Bloody monster!
But, yeah. Also, damn. Level 20 and 21 on those two enemies. It's really starting to ramp up the difficulty for me. I'm not even gonna mess with him right now.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
On the other hand, I forgot that I upgraded most of my weapons last time. I was trying to avoid those two, but I guess I can't really.
29 Pretty Orchard Street. This is it. What's in there for me?
Nothing for me yet.
There's been a fight here.
Yeah, in this case, it's making them much quicker to get rid of. But I still need to get to the other side of the docks if I'm gonna find this other stuff. I think maybe right here is where I can jump across, or rather teleport across. There we go. Anyway, there is a house somewhere near here that I can get into, and there is a letter in there. I know it's not this place. But on the other hand, ooh, trash can. Lots of screws and grease. Well, good. Can always use those. That's something else that you build up a collection of in my line of work. Aside from building up a collection of... Yes. But as well as building up a collection of power cables and converters and all sorts of other related stuff. And I've got like a box of memory sticks and stuff like that. But you also pick up a collection of screws, usually the smaller ones, the ones that they use to put together laptops and such. Because every once in a while, you can't figure out. Once you take a laptop apart and you can't figure out where all the screws go, so you palm it and hope the owner doesn't notice. The problem with the guide that I'm using to try to find the secrets is that it says, "Oh, there's a house near the beginning of the docks." Well, which docks? The north docks, the south docks, or the east docks? I'm assuming somewhere on this side of the docks because, well, I find him. Oh, come on. Because I always find him somewhere near. He's near the. I assume the Limehouse docks because he's always somewhere near the Blue Tortoise. But if I can't find him...
Hypocrites all of them.
For instance... Which would be great if the guide actually told me what I want, Better guide than any I can find.
Hypocrites all of them. Maggots.
Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr. Reid.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
That was just to get him to move. One of the secrets that I remembered he had. Aha.
Don't you think Miss Fishburne is nice to us? But I always have the feeling she's hiding something. For now, you're still the only real friend I have, Jack.
And there's 20 XP for discovering that our good friend Rufus, his sole friend is a rat. And then once he comes back outside,
Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr. Reid.
How come you consider it your only friend?
I found Jack when he was a baby, alone amongst dead rats. Poison, probably. He was the weakest, but he survived. Just like me with my parents.
Like you and your parents?
When I was 8, my parents died in a car accident. Rumour says I didn't get a scratch.
You don't remember the accident?
No. I was little back then. It's been a blurry mess and very quiet in my head ever since.
How have you survived? Did anybody take care of you?
I don't have any family left, really. Except for the good Mrs. Fishburne. She's like my family now.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
and there was some XP for that, but I do remember that, Mary. Because it's also coming to the PC. It's going to be on Steam.
Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reid. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in? I'm not sure the epidemic is what worries people most these days.
It's locked, all right.
I'll have a little talk with Stella in a minute.
Please don't stay too long, sir. So you have questions about the flu, then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum, in exchange for food.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no, my Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent, then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter and no one will bat an eye.
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know, but it's most likely linked to the gangs if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
The orphan that regards you as a mother, please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach.
Tell me about these demons Seymour needs your help to fight.
Seymour used to be such a happy child, and he is still a helping son most of the time. But when he gets angry, he can hardly contain his rage.
All men and women are born innocent, Mrs. Fishburne. But there can be a monster within any of us.
Do you think he can be cured, Doctor? Do you think something can extinguish this rage inside my Seymour?
Science has only just begun to investigate the mysteries of the human mind. Currently, we have more assumptions than fact.
There ain't no hope, then. Somehow, somewhere, my son has turned into a monster, and nothing will bring him back.
Stella, I know you are ashamed of your son's crimes. So why do you protect Seymour?
I can't report my own son, can I? Not a burden I could bear.
Burden? How do you mean?
They'd hang him for sure. I won't send my only son to his death.
I'm convinced you raised Seymour the best you could. You're not responsible for what he became.
If someone ever found the courage to speak to the police, I will take my share.
Your son's gone way beyond simply bullying people. He has a taste for blood, and you know it, don't you, Stella?
One night, he told me straight up, in his own words. It was several days after one of his episodes.
Why did he confess? Did you suspect something?
No. I guess he wanted his old mum to help him fight his, demons.
Did Seymour tell you everything that night?
More than I could stand. The words he used to describe his hate, his rage, how he feels when he's done it.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
I don't think I've uncovered anything new. But I have gotten 2 more of Rufus's hints. Okay.
Days.
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What's your...
I take care.
Some...
I just want
What can you tell...
a shit.
Are you...
No?
Is there...
Well,
What's your...
I take care.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Ah, okay. Got to keep an eye on him and wait until he goes to talk to his mother, and I can pick up the last hint for him and for his mother at the same time. And what a coincidence, I think that's exactly where he's going.
Stupid brat is gone. Good. I was tired of the maggot always hanging around our house anyway.
My God, Seymour. Have you hurt the boy?
Of course not. Why do you care so much about that cockroach? Do I need to talk to rats to get some attention too?
Don't be so childish. You know I love you, Seymour.
But you worry more about that stupid maggot.
Don't speak about him that way. Rufus has always been the kindest boy.
Yeah? Unlike your real son, right?
Seymour is jealous of his mother's attention for Rufus, and Stella's attention for Rufus exacerbates her son Seymour's jealousy. So that's all of them except for Rufus himself. And now that I've gotten that, I can talk to Rufus and get his last secret.
Am I really cursed? It would explain so much.
Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr. Reid.
Rufus, tell me what you really think about Seymour Fishburne.
Seymour, he just scares me. A lot. Actually, he scares many people round here, even big fellows.
You mean his brutality is infamous, even in this shady part of town? That's impressive.
Yes, sir. How someone like that can be related to Mrs. Fishburne, well, it beggars belief.
The patience of a mother for her child knows no limits. None of us would be here otherwise.
You're right. And I certainly didn't mean any disrespect to the woman who takes such good care of me.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
So love to gaze at the stars.
And that's another secret, this time the last of Rufus's. Yeah, sounds about right. That's about the same. I think that's the exact same price for the PC version. And I have seen one guy play through it. It looks interesting, and of course, obviously, you're talking about 50 years, so it looks way better than the Apple II version ever did. But not that I've seen the Apple II version in about 40 years, so I can't say much about that.
Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces round here.
You again? What?
Oh,
Goodbye, Mr.
Need to talk to her, actually, to get his last
Good evening,
secret.
Mr.
Hello again.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman.
Gang member and...
If you're in...
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
Let's
Can I see what...
As long as you...
Ah, there we go. Good trigger parts. Yeah, I'll definitely take the good trigger parts. And if I'm not mistaken, that's all of Booth's. And all but one of his. Or all of his and all but one of hers, excuse me.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again.
Tell me your feelings about Booth's belief in monsters, Edwina.
It makes him look weak in front of the boys, that's my feeling about it. But ghosts don't scare me.
You don't believe he really saw something, then?
I don't care what he saw or not. All I know is that a real man keeps his fears to himself if he wants to be obeyed.
And that's the last of hers.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
What happened exactly?
I don't know, and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the Wet Boot Boys, Doctor. This is our territory, and this is our law.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence
talking,
is an
Doc.
efficient tool, Dr. Reid, when used properly.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
Goodbye, Miss.
And that's the last of her secrets, so we can move on to the next guy. Or woman, as the case may be.
We don't need no wars.
Good evening, sir. I'm amazed you made it back to the docks alone. Good for you.
Well, I could say the same about you, young man. More to the point, who the hell are you?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
And I am Archer Woodbead. Please excuse my assertiveness. I often forget I'm just an old prune.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
People used to feel safe around here. They had the gangs protecting them. Now all they do is bicker and plot against one another.
Missing the good old days, are you not?
Trust me, son. The longer you live, the less meaning your existence will have. You need to remember the days you still had beliefs.
And what about the gangs?
Back in my day, people trusted the Wet Boot Boys. We looked out for the docks and its families. Nowadays, they're just a bunch of greedy fuckers.
You were a gang member.
I was their leader for a time, believe it or not. Now these bastards act like I'm nothing. Not one of them. They owe me some damn respect.
If you were such a respected figure, surely you have many interesting stories about this part of town.
You bet I do, but make no mistake. I'm no rat, sir. Some secrets are best left buried.
Any remarkable new faces around here?
Nobody. Well, there's that boy Rufus the Curse. I like him, despite the reputation he's made since his parents died. Poor little bastard.
I'm sure a district as colourful as the docks must have plenty of stories about strange visitors and creepy characters.
So, you want me to talk about the sewer dog, don't you?
If you don't mind.
The sewer dog is a bitch. Appropriately named, an old woman dressed in rags. She has an elegance, though, despite her ugliness. I saw her once. Scared the life out of me.
Do you still know anyone? From the old days, I mean.
Most of them are dead. I still give Miss Gillingham salutations. She doesn't remember me. She did once like me. Boy, she was a beauty back then.
Who would you trust around here?
The owner of the Turquoise Turtle's a decent fella. Tom's his name. Sean Hampton's all right too. Don't particularly share his religious views. He's quite devout if you catch my meaning.
Have you always been so bitter?
It's not bitterness, it's poorly masked disgust. When everything turns to shit, we all have to eat a spoon or two.
As a practitioner, I believe science will provide a new standard of welfare. It's just a matter of time.
I'd like to believe you, Doctor. But recently all science has been good for is mustard gas and machine guns.
But what about social progress? What about women getting the right to vote? Things can change for the better.
I've never voted, not once. And my wife, God rest her soul, she was too busy taking care of the kids to vote.
Tell me everything you know about the Guard of Priwen.
Andrew never told me what they do. I do know they're vigilantes with military training. Access to some impressive firepower.
And what is your personal opinion about the Guard, then?
This Guard of Priwen is just another gang preying on the young and naive. Preying on people like my boy. I know how it works. I invented it.
Tell me about the Wet Boot Boys, Archer. I want to know more.
We were there for the families and each other. It was us against the world. We were vicious, tough, even cruel. But we were united.
You sound like you were some kind of radical union member.
Yes, nowadays the communists and gangs squabble over pointless territory. Sounds stupid when you say it out loud.
Why did your son really join the Guard of Priwen?
If I believed in a higher power, I'd see this as punishment for my own sins. I deserve it for all the young men I enlisted back in the day.
So your son has left you nothing to explain his actions? No letter or message?
Not even a note. I'm a proud man, Dr. Reid. But I would kneel and pray if I thought it would give me my Andrew back.
You don't believe in God, though, do you, Mr. Woodbead? So why did he join?
Now I think about it, Andrew joined the Guard, not to defy me, but to follow in my footsteps, to make me proud.
Goodbye, sir.
And I think that's all of Andrew's now. Or Archer's, rather. Okay, all of his, all of his, all of his. Haven't met those two. All of those, all of those. Guess that just leaves... Well, unfortunately, I lost the chance at one of Ichabod's. Yeah, if it was the Commodore PET version, more than likely it would have been tape. After all, the PET did have a built-in tape drive. And yes, I remember those quite well. I grew up in that with the 8-bit computers. In fact, I'm rather impressed with what demo groups have been doing with the Commodore 64, actually. Too bad I don't have one anymore. This is another one of those things where I have to eavesdrop. When both she and Tom stopped to have a... Yeah, that was later models of the PET. I think it was the PET 2032, something like that, that had the built-in tape drive. And then later models had a port on the back for attaching the tape drive that way, because they put out disk drives for it too, and you could have either disk drives or a tape drive connect, or both actually.
You know, it would be nice to see each other outside the pub sometime.
This situation won't last forever. After, we'll have plenty of time to plan the future.
Good thing we haven't seen Seymour for a while. Even Dyson has stopped coming in every night.
The pub's become right peaceful, don't you think?
Okay. There we go.
Don't forget to count each bullet you fire.
You told me that already.
Nice shot. You learn quickly. Pointing an empty gun could be a fatal mistake.
It's easier when I picture the bastard's face.
And I think, yep, that's the last of Tom's. Tom taught Sabrina how to use a gun to protect herself. And then when she comes back in, I can talk to Sabrina. And that'll get, I think... Yeah, should get her last one.
You still working at this hour? That's what I call dedication.
I know you've been learning to use a gun, Sabrina. What are you up to?
I just want to feel safe when I go home at night.
I understand. Everyone has the right to defend themselves.
Yeah, especially when there's no justice around.
Oh. Okay, well, crap.
Goodbye, Miss Kevin.
Thought that was the right answer, but I kind of screwed up on that hint. Oh well, it happens. And there's Giselle and Lottie. Plus, when I'm done picking up the rest of Giselle's and what's her name, her sister's hints. Well, actually, I might have to wait on that until later. Because obviously they're not going to...
Glad to see you again.
Did you see what happened?
No. I was coming back to the shelter from work when I heard an awful scream, and there was this man, dead, just in front of the building.
You saw nothing at all?
No. I told you, just that awful woman's scream.
A woman scream? Are you sure?
Of course. It was terrifying. I thought it was my sister, so I ran. But it was a man I've never seen round here before.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
You again?
Did you see what...
No, I didn't. And I don't care.
Really? Why is that?
Because this sexist pig is one of the 4 men who blacklisted me. Good riddance, if you ask me.
Well, I'll leave you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Okay, they're not going to return to normal behavior, I don't think, until I complete that investigation. But on the plus side, 4,000 XP and a hideout not far away. Not enough good handle parts for that. But revolver now level 4. Tough call. Increase damage dealt or decrease reload time. Well, fortunately, these you can change back and forth. You just can't have both of them at the same time. But now it does 104 damage and 5 stun. I can live with that. And if I had more tiny good handle parts and a lot more lead sticks, I'd have the perfect pre-win stake. Too useful not to upgrade. $2,000 XP. If you've ever lived near the docks of the East End, you must know who Sean Patrick Hampton is, and if not, you might have heard of him. His name is starting to spread through the entire capital, and the song it sings is one of hope. Sean is the humble founder of the Hampton Asylum, an establishment he built with his own hands and convictions. The building, an abandoned warehouse gracefully donated by the Dawson family, then renovated and transformed into what is now the most famous asylum in London. The poor and hungry are welcome under his roof, and with them he shares his food, his care, and his prayers. Sean Hampton came from a background of misery, but the hardships of life didn't disfigure or maim his profound trust in the Lord. If anything, the faithful man gained an acute empathy in exchange for the torments of poverty. His love of others is renowned throughout the docks. Rare are those who didn't witness Sean cry at the sight of an infirm veteran, an orphan child, or a sick mother. That is how he gained his nickname, the Sad Saint of the East End. Sean Hampton is so respected that people still stay in his shelter, even after the sad saint contracted a mysterious disease which forces him to rest a lot and take his meals away from his flock, while in some other parts of London people step back as soon as someone coughs in public. Men and women accept to eat and sleep in the Hampton Asylum. It's the safest place in the East End docks. The building looks dirty, the stench around the place is awful for a delicate soul, but there is hope and love there. And the death toll has been low and stable for days. And the docks district is still healthy. Pembroke is still sanitized. Whitechapel has moved up to healthy. I just have to talk to him, because he's the only one that can interpret those things and get him his migraine treatment. And then, of course, West End is stable, but I haven't talked to anyone there. Oh, all the way up there near that? Huh.
Best be moving on. Not a safe place right now, sir.
Could have been. The Apple II had tape drives too. Although more commonly I think of it as having the dual disk drive system.
Please, sir.
This could be the public house Giselle Paxton mentioned. I should investigate further.
For a gentleman.
Who said I was a gentleman?
I'll take its head!
Giselle's stolen money. Prewen has some unethical ways of financing their war.
You again?
I've identified the men who stole from you. You were right. They were members of some self-proclaimed militia.
I knew it! Did you find the money too?
Yes, here it is. They thought they could finance their activities with it.
I never thought a man like you would be kind enough to... I misjudged you. Badly. Well, thank you, sir.
Will you give the money back to your comrades, then?
Fuck those bastards who fired me. I'll give the money to Miss Gillingham. Her son Jack was a friend of mine. He was killed recently.
Yep. But that's still a step up for her.
I know you were friends with Miss Gillingham's son, Jack. Tell me about his death.
Jack's murder has been a shock to the neighborhood. A sign that the situation is now out of control.
Why is that?
There has always been tension between the Wet Boot Boys and members of the trade union. But a murder? That's a first.
Why does that upset you so much?
I wish I had found the time and words to tell him how important he was to me before it was too late. Another failure for Giselle Paxton.
Who killed him?
No one will ever know. One thing is certain. While Jack was alive, I had one less reason to drink.
Well, I'll leave you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton. It's locked.
Still, that is one more for Giselle. And the last one for Giselle and Lottie, the way to get that last one for them is they will go somewhere to talk, and you have to eavesdrop on them like you saw me eavesdropping on Seymour and Stella. But they're not going to return to their normal behavior just yet. I'm going to have to investigate this murder. I wish I remembered where Enid Gillingham was. She's supposed to be in the Western Docks.
Step away, sir.
Oh, I'm stepping. Oh, good. Another door that was previously locked.
There's one of them! Watch yourselves!
I'm not sure if they have a limited patrol area or a limited chase distance or what, but for... here we are. Oh. I see the mistake I made. She's southeast of Sean's place, not southwest. Let's see if I can find Enid around here somewhere then. And it is specifically the western docks area. New pre-wind buttholes. No, I don't need to go to the northern docks. Aha.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Do you need any help?
Rest assured, I will help you, sir. Martin Nightingale, at your service. Please, take a look at my wares.
Your merchandise. I don't really see anything worth having. No offense.
None taken, sir. But please, I need to eat. Perhaps if you keep looking, you'd see something that takes your fancy.
Let me be frank. You're as much of a businessman as I am a werewolf, right?
Who the hell are you to question me? It's hard enough to stay clean when you don't have a place to sleep. I'm doing my best here.
I meant no offense, Mr. Nightingale. I was merely pointing out the fact that you're unlikely to survive long if you continue wandering this path.
And what should I do then, sir? Should I join the Wet Boot Boys like so many others? No thanks. I'd rather be a bad seller than a dead gang member.
I can respect that.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood? Have you got any friends around these parts?
Not really. Miss Gillingham smiles and says kind words, but I know she's lost her marbles, especially since her son died.
How interesting. I don't suppose you know what happened to her son.
Jack! Rumour has it he tried to tackle some gang lads. I didn't know him well, but I heard he was a nice enough chap. His old ma still thinks he's around.
Tell me about this crazy woman. Madness is often mistaken for other conditions.
The poor woman's mad, all right. Kind and all, but she has so much trouble remembering things. She's taken me for a son more than once.
And that's 2 out of 4 for him.
Why not try seeking help instead of peddling your wares? I'm sure there are people around here that would gladly help.
There's always the night asylum. Heard it's run by a very nice man, but I'm no beggar. Not yet, at least.
There is no shame in asking for help, my boy. Sometimes it can even be the best course of action.
I don't feel okay with that. I'm gonna make a name for myself, and I'll do it by myself.
Have you heard anything recently concerning Sean Hampton's shelter?
He keeps investing time helping the poor and sick. Good for him. And for them.
Show me what you have to offer then, Mr. Nightingale.
Actually, if you had any good trigger parts, I would absolutely buy them. But you don't. But you know what? That's okay, because you have that, which I will buy. And you do have lead sticks, which I'm gonna need. So I'll buy all of them. That ought to keep you fed for a while. Which reminds me. Vampire factions and skulls, part of the story of Ascalon here. Vampires and the guards will never have a common interest. Never. Not as long as I live. Not after I die and pass the torch to another leader. I know some of us have witnessed a strange and huge vampire hunting down skulls just like we do. He is well dressed and seems to speak eloquently. But don't be fooled. If this unknown leech and his friends seem to hate Skull as much as we do, some others offer them safe haven in exchange for obedience. Scouts in the north have reported that strange ceremonies occur in the secluded forests of Scotland. Ceremonies of blood and human sacrifice to old pagan gods. They may be adversaries to the London vampires, but none of these leech factions could be our allies. All vampires must be destroyed, and no alliance will be made between them and us. From The Adversary by Kendall Stone, founder of the Guard of Prewin.
Good evening, young man. Show me what you...
I could sell that old common pistol, but I think I'm going to hang on to it for now.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. May I come in?
I already took my medication, Doctor. But thank you.
I'm sorry. Your medication? Have we met before?
Don't tease me like that, Jack. Sorry, what?
I think I should come in, miss. I'd like to check if everything is okay, what with the epidemic spreading across London.
An epidemic, you say? How terrible. I had no idea. But where are my manners? Please do come in, Doctor. You are a doctor, yes?
Now that is a short-term memory. Rodney, I just heard what happened tonight. I ran to your house, but you were already gone, so now I'm writing this note. Is it true you killed him? I can't believe it. Why? What happened? I really need to talk to you now. Please find a way to contact me when you receive this message. Since I know you can be very cautious, and to prove to you this is not a trap, let's use the code when we meet. I'll whistle my name in Morse code, and you'll whistle yours, okay? This way you'll know it's really me. For now it's a good thing you are hiding. The Wet Boot Boys are all over the neighborhood, claiming they will punish the man who murdered one of them. I'm sure we could make an arrangement to settle things once the heat dies down. And that gave me a hint to Rodney Grader.
It's locked, all right.
So, Dr. Tippett, what brings you back here? I heard whispers you had a job at that fancy hospital.
I told you my name is Jonathan Reid. Don't you remember?
Of course I do. I remember my name too. Gillingham. But you may call me Enid, Doctor. I'm very happy to see you again.
Have you heard anything recently concerning Sean Hampton's shelter?
I've never heard that name before, I'm afraid.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Oh, no. I don't gossip. That would be most unbecoming of a lady such as myself.
Who are the more influential figures on the docks?
Well, I heard about some terrible illness going around. I would say in that case that it's you, Dr. Tippett.
Is anyone taking care of you, Miss Gillingham?
My son is always here to take care of me. He's a good boy like that, but I do worry that he needs to start living his own life. I would never say that to him, of course.
Enid, have you really no idea what happened to your son? No idea at all?
I've not seen Jack for so long. I lose track of time. Has something bad happened to him?
Just want to make sure I'm not about to do something stupid.
Jack takes good care of you, Miss Gillingham.
He does indeed. My Jack is the best son a mother could ask for.
Goodbye, Miss Gillingham.
Isn't she the one that has... Yeah, she is. She has the headache.
So,
Do you require medical attention, miss?
I'm glad you asked, Dr. Tippett. I must confess I haven't felt that well of late.
I don't have a treatment for headache on me? What the heck?
I'll see you... Goodbye, miss.
Oh, that's right. I didn't know what was wrong with her because I hadn't met her.
Come and have a gander.
So I didn't know she had so I couldn't tell she had the headache. Well, I can take care of that quickly enough.
Good evening, Miss Gillingham. May I come in?
Of course, of course. So,
Do you require medical...
I'm glad.
I'll try my best. Here, take this. And please, try to get some rest.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Miss Gillingham.
Now I need to keep an eye on him and wait until he goes inside to talk to Miss Gilliam and then listen in on that conversation. Someone who lives in this area has a baby.
I know I've got something that'll strike your fancy. If not, I'll find you something. Please, sir, come and have a gander.
Go on, dude. Go and talk to Miss Gilliam.
Are you certain you're not lost, sir? You seem quite a stranger to these parts.
Come on, man. Go talk to the woman.
Please, sir, come and have a gander.
Who the hell are you talking to? Because I know it ain't me. Oh, Martin, would you please stop walking back to your position and talking to me when I'm not even...
Lisa, come and have a gander.
Be right back.
Are you certain you're not lost, sir? You seem quite a stranger to these parts.
Good evening.
There's no need.
Show me what...
Demon! Back! Bloody... No rest for the wicked! Fear no evil! We do the Lord's work here! Christ, he's dead!
It's locked, all right. Are you all right, sir? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question. Don't you know this is a quarantine zone?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. I'm investigating the epidemic. You had better get to a safe place while you still can.
Oh, really? Well, go investigate somewhere else and leave me be.
I beg your pardon?
I said go. Leave me alone, sir.
Rodney, you're the man who killed that gang member, are you not? Is that why you are hiding in this godforsaken place?
Yes, I did. I did not even know his name.
Then why did you kill him?
That arsehole always mocked me for the colour of my skin. Usually I let it go. But not that night. We fought. He died.
Whatever you've done, you can't spend the rest of your life hiding here.
I just wanted to teach him a lesson. Not kill him. I'm not responsible for a murder if I didn't want to commit it. It was an accident.
Believe me, Rodney, you won't survive here long. No matter what you did, you must go back to where you used to live.
I'll go back to the docks then. But if I die, remember that the blood of Rodney Grader will be on your hands. I'll go back.
I cannot enter. It's locked. Good evening, Mr.
Dr. Reid.
Did you see what happened to him?
Actually, yes. He was thrown from the roof like a vulgar log.
Who could have done that?
Who? Well, a vampire, of course. Look, bite marks on the neck and lacerations here. There is definitely a vampire close by.
Why is it that you sound so afraid?
You didn't see it. He was dead before he hit the ground. The strength required to do such a thing, well, it beggars belief.
Goodbye, and good...
Ain't safe here for a gentleman.
It's one of them! Want some of this? And to you! Die! Want some of this? There's one of them! Watch yourselves!
This window was shattered with violent force. Someone's been pulled through it and dragged through the street. Who could have done that?
Last warning, sir! It's an inch! Finish it! There's one of them vermin!
So much blood. Whoever was killed got dried out.
I don't understand. Why drag the poor wench across all these streets to let her expire and be found here?
You're surprising. Occasionally, you make a good point.
How's that?
We're being misled. Worse, we're being baited by leeches playing a nasty game.
Die, then!
God walks with me!
We have a killer! Filthy murdering bastard!
The marks on this woman's neck were made by the fangs of a vampire. Only a golden watch in her pockets. Her shoes and clothes are quite worn out. This is the very flower my mother tossed on Mary's coffin. Someone is targeting my family. Only a...
I see you.
Right then. It's a sick game. But given no choice in the matter, I might as well win it.
Jonathan.
What was that? I won't let you escape. Very fast, but I'll catch you. They've all been butchered. I can still sense a presence. This is despicable.
Come to me.
What have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell scourge! Son of perdition!
Vicar! Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul. Returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me, all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reid.
Mary.
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Of course. You can speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital. Cemetery to cemetery. Grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were. In front of me. On a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary, I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reid? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reid, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Time to go, Mother. Say hello to my son for me.
Mary, wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary. With time, we can learn to live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel, pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Yes, I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget. Puppets for our pleasure. I've seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
Oh, so that's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head. One in particular. That of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal. Not for our poisonous kiss. Not even for the lies you tell yourself. No. It's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good. Kinslayer! What have you done? Assassin! You left me to rot in this grave! You killed me, brother! You've spared the precious Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary. Rest in peace, Esther. Give me your... Blood Priest. Their final thoughts are just to die for. Kinslayer! Come to me, Jonathan. You killed me, brother. Kiss me again, sweet brother. Abomination! Come to me, Jonathan. Rest in peace, master.
Focusing.
done?
God damn, these things are annoying.
Kiss me again, sweet brother.
Considering that those damned blood flowers of hers are so bloody difficult. And she hits like a freight train.
What have you done? I'll make you kneel like just as you did to Sean Hampton. Come to me, Jonathan.
How about no? Damn it! And I don't have anything that I can use to read.
What have you done?
Dong! And I have no serums, and I'm gonna awaken with no serums, and I'm gonna have to start the fight over. I can only hope it doesn't reset her health, too.
In the name of Christ, someone
help
me!
It's gonna fully reset her
brother.
health.
What have you done?
Sorry, dear sister, I need blood. She resisted, and then she resisted, and then she resisted, and then she resisted some more.
Jonathan, kill him. Revel in your truth.
Well, so much for that.
In the name of Christ! Someone help!
Assassin!
Oh, good. Ah, that's...
What have you done? Kiss me again, sweet brother. Give me your blood, priest. Final thoughts are just to die for. You've killed me, brother. Rest in peace, monster.
And of course she has full health again because she drained him. Somehow, she gets full health off of someone. I get maybe 10 points of health off someone.
Kin!
Thankfully, she can only recharge once that way. The problem is, she recharges that way.
You left me to rot in this grave. What have you done? Abomination! Kiss me again.
Oh, great. She resisted, which means she's gonna do blood flowers again. Dong! Okay, you know what? I could defeat her given enough time, but no, I'm not going to waste my time on that. Or your time watching me fail over and over and over again. Hold on.
You left me to rot
in
this grave. You've spared the precious Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary.
Well, I didn't kill the priest, she did.
Kiss me again. I'll make you kneel like a dog, just as you did to Sean Hampton. Assassin! Well, brother, it's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
You know I will not play this game.
Come now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy?
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
I will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
Then, at last, I can forgive you.
Blood. As I shed one last red tear for my fallen sister, I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood, via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reid. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
Dear Dr. Reid, I hope this letter will quickly find you, for I need to speak to you as soon as possible. The situation is evolving very quickly in the West End, and I'm convinced we are all now in great danger. The Guard of Prewin has launched a great hunt in London, and for a few nights they have been actively searching and killing any Ekon they can locate. Lord Redgrave, chairman of the Ascalon Club, recently contacted me. He wishes to meet you immediately. Please come to my mansion any night that suits you. We must discuss all of this. With this letter, you will find an official pass that will allow you to go through any barricade or quarantine checkpoint throughout the city. Let's see what we have. Okay, let's see. 1 fatigue, 1 headache, 2 headaches, 2 fatigue, 2 headaches, 2 fatigue, 3 headaches. And just enough to craft all of that. I need a lot of ergotamine.
It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked.
And in case anyone was wondering, there's 6 chapters.
Jonathan, old chap, how are you tonight? I've seen little of you of late.
I was conducting research in my room, away from the nightly routines.
Of course, of course. Worry not, I understand. The situation has been testy around here. I won't deny it, but we still stand.
Yeah, although some chapters are shorter than others, and especially since I've been doing all the side investigations, probably die is pretty close to accurate. It's probably closer to 2/3 done, really, because, like, for example, Chapter 6 is only 2 missions.
What news do you bring?
The news is not good, my friend. We try to keep the epidemic at bay, but street violence is escalating quickly.
How bad is the epidemic?
It is killing the infected patients faster. In less than 2 days now. The only blessing is that they are contagious for a shorter period.
Tell me more about the violence.
Geoffrey McCallum seems to have sent his war dogs on a hunt. On a nightly basis, Prewen patrols exterminate every skull and vampire they find.
Have they come closer to the hospital?
No. They mainly focus on fallen districts or abandoned buildings. But they're growing in numbers. They must be recruiting heavily.
Have you any reliable friends in the West End who might assist me?
Unfortunately, you will be alone. Except for our ravishing red-headed acquaintance, of course.
What about the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole? Where are they?
There are only a few of us, and most others would not speak to you. I am the black sheep of our brotherly flock, you know.
What of my commission here at Pembroke Hospital?
Nothing to fear, Jonathan. Your position here is in no jeopardy. You remain one of us, and you are always most welcome.
I have received an alarming letter from Lady Ashbury. She wants me to meet her at her house. I have been granted safe passage.
Then you are twice fortunate. I have never been invited to the lady's mansion, and with the quarantine and controls, city access is nigh impossible.
Is the quarantine serving any purpose?
It is helping slow the propagation of the epidemic. But as long as we have no clue to its origin, its efficiency is limited.
Why have you never entered the lady's house? You are one of her good friends, are you not?
My dear Jonathan, you have no idea how reclusive the good lady normally is, nor in what great esteem she must hold you to let you into her domain.
Thank you, Edgar.
Well, we won't be going to her domain right away. Rare species of vampires. As a scholar and exegete of ancestral writings, I would never insist enough about the importance of taking legends and ancient folklores into account when searching for hints about hidden or lost secrets. A common mistake is to take what we know for an established truth and use it to discard any contradictory material. For example, we must consider the possibility of undiscovered species of vampires, and the necessity to rethink what we see as the established truth about the various types of immortals based on what we know and we gathered through time. For how many centuries did we consider that vampire was the vernacular term for what we had learned to call econ, until the day 4 explorers of the Brotherhood found proof in Siberia that Volkods were a lupine type of vampire? We considered these creatures to be linked to the mythological werewolf. Now we know it is not true. What about the rest? What about the Rakshasa from my homeland? What about the Chinese Jiangxi or the Puchin of southern Chile? And without even leaving the beautiful Great Britain, what about the stories about bat-shaped women sometimes seen flying around St. James Church in Louth? What about the creature only identified as a disaster in some obscure testimonies, which tried to destroy London in 1666, and again in 1916, by spreading plague all around the city? What about the Nimrod, the mythical figure of the restless vampire hunter, sometimes described by ancestral British econs as a legendary huntsman who only feeds on his prey's blood and could go unnoticed amongst the mortals and immortals? I tell you, my brothers, we can never be too sure of what we could find, if only we could forget for a few minutes what we're supposed to already know. From Unveiling the Night by Usher Talltree, Primate of St. Paul. See if there's any other notes around here. I don't think so. But always double check. And there's certainly plenty of people around here that I need to cure again. Let's see, there's Pippa. She's not the problem. There's Thelma. Hold on. Okay, I already know everything about Pippa and Milton. Almost everything about Tippets and Brannigan. And her. Okay.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor.
Yes, you always need blood.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
My condition cannot be understood by you, mortal. This curse is beyond your science.
Well, until the day science finally admits failure, please accept this little contribution.
Thank you, Doctor. Your efforts are admirable, though laughable.
I'll leave you. Good evening, Doctor.
And good evening to...
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
I would have been confused if anyone other than you had asked that question, Dr. Reid. But your help is welcomed.
There is no shame in helping each other. We're colleagues, after all.
Many doctors I have known are too cynical to think that way.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Okay, I already know everything I can know about him. Him again, fatigue.
Good evening, Miss.
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may.
You are not a bird.
And you have...
I have to go now.
I'm alright. Don't waste...
Probably a month? A year?
Okay, I think there's something about them. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I was right. There is something about him. Okay, I'm gonna have to
approve of our methods, and you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better.
What I need to do is I have to exit and come around to this side of the hospital, which is where Beatrice and Mortimer are, and they'll start a discussion. But while I'm waiting on that, let's see.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like...
Wise choice.
Yeah, this is another one where you have to eavesdrop on Mortimer and his mother.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that cabin.
And I have to figure out where to eavesdrop on him from. Aha.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Well, let's see. Dr. Tippett has a headache again.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett. Do you need any medical assistance?
Yes, indeed.
I have no doubt about it, but you are still ill all the same. Please, take this medicine.
I appreciate your concern, Dr. Reid.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Keeping the district healthy, one person at a time.
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reid.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you, then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
I have to go now.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
Goodbye, Mrs.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a
Well, to be fair, she's not wrong. In London, it was a crime. I don't know if it still is. But the other catch-22 there... The other catch is that at least he isn't living back in the 1700s. Back then, it was such a severe crime that attempting to commit suicide and failing was punishable by death. Which, to me, sounds more like a win-win situation. If you don't manage to kill yourself, don't worry. The Justice Department will do it for you.
I never could keep anything from her.
And Clay again.
Hey, Doc.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay.
Consider yourself lucky.
Don't play the innocent with...
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
Do you want it back?
I don't need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me,
I'd be really grateful.
A grateful Clay Cox? I might just find your knife and bring it back to you to see that happen.
I can give you directions, but I'll be surprised if you manage to find it. My hideout isn't meant to be found easily.
A lucky charm? I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
I'll leave you.
Okay, that's everyone here in this district healed. Only that guy, and I already have the cure for him there. And the Docs is actually cured for now. Let's see. Who am I missing info on? Them, but that'll resolve after I complete this side mission, so let's go ahead and track that. Not far from here.
Look at it! Vicious bugger! What's some of this? Turn around, sir. He's done for! Watch it! It's a killer!
This is no place for a gentleman.
Okay.
Crush the leech, boys!
Oh, for crying out loud. It really is.
Back in the grave, you! Die! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
But I might hold off on actually spending that XP until after I've completed this side quest. My dear mother, when you find this letter, I'll be gone. I want you to know that I don't leave because of you. I leave this world because of the crushing weight that existence puts upon me. These times are too much for me. Sometimes I feel like Baudelaire's verses have been written as an echo from my own heart. When the low, heavy sky weighs like a lid upon the spirit aching for the light, and all the wide horizon's line is hid by a black day sadder than any night. It's as beautiful as it is painful, Mother. I can't suffer it any more. I don't want you to try to convince me, and it would only delay the inevitable, for I would do it again if by any chance you managed to save me once. Farewell, your son Mortimer.
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
And of course the reason for that is so I can get more XP to spend. Also, Mortimer's... I hesitate to call this an apartment. Fertile is the belly of the beast. Vampires create their foul progeny with blood. We all know that. Some of us witness the process even. But what is really going on there? Is it the only way for a vampire to breed? Let's review what we know so far. When willing to create a progeny, a vampire will not bite but give its blood to drink. Most of the victims die when bitten, but some of them survive and turn into leeches themselves. This only happens when they have assimilated the vampire blood one way or another. It is not the predator's bite, but its blood that infects the victim who will turn if he or she survives the suffering of the metamorphosis. It also seems that a vampire can breed by having intercourse. The vampire mates to produce a child. Sexual intercourse between vampire and human rarely produce any birth, but some of them tried anyway. A vampire gestation is only a few weeks short, and the pain is almost unbearable for the mother. If she is mortal, she will not survive the birth. The vampire comes out of her womb by tearing apart her entrails. Ew. If the mother is a blood drinker, it will probably survive and regenerate. The newborn vampire will quickly grow and turn into an adult vampire in only a few months.
It's locked, all right.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, just wanted to make sure it didn't have any real consequence no matter which one I gave it to.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reid. I'll think about it. Now, please, let me be.
I have to go now.
I'm all right. Don't waste...
Good evening.
I'm okay.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
Need to make sure I don't say the wrong thing and accidentally...
Don't you see how lucky you are? You're rich, you're in good health, and you have a loving mother. You're simply drowning in self-pity.
Leave me alone then, Doctor, and let me drown myself.
I have to go.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, Doc.
Mortimer is extremely vague as to his motivations for committing suicide. Tell me more about what you know.
As you say, Mortimer had no reason to die. All he said to me was that he wanted to make the world a better place, but couldn't.
Why did your son feel so useless when facing the world?
I think it was more that he could only see the melancholy facets of life. He couldn't help but dwell on such things.
What do you think he meant by making the world a better place?
Mortimer has always been a sensitive soul. He wouldn't talk to anyone for months after his father passed. It's like he carries everyone's sadness with him.
I have read your son's suicide note. It was not an impulsive gesture, nor was it his first attempt.
He threatened to kill himself a few times before. But I never thought he would dare to punish me this much.
Punish you? Why?
I've known for a long time he was not happy with his life. But I always hoped he cared enough to avoid making me suffer like this.
Do you realize your son could try to kill himself again? He might succeed next time.
I think about it every minute. But I won't stop fighting for my son's future. That's how much I love him.
You're right. Your son's death was not fatal. And unlike many on their own, he is lucky to have you by his side.
I can't give up on him. I just can't. I have conceded many times in my life, but giving up on my son is something I am incapable of.
And that's all the hints for her, and all the hints for him, so we're good there. Now, who else do I not have everything for? Dr. Aykroyd. Let me check that. Let's see.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswell.
My sweet girl.
No, that's him, not the other guy that I was looking for. Ah, over here as he sometimes is.
I'm quite bit...
Tell me, Waverley, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking...
Harvey...
And are you not afraid that your...
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Since you're careless, I don't... Do you think you can... Thank you for your time.
Don't have to talk to Dr. Swansea, but I think there's a letter in here that I missed. And it is possible that the letter might not even be here. Not anymore, I mean. because it's possible it may only have been available in Chapter 2 and I somehow missed it back then. In which case I won't be able to get the last secret for Dr. What's-his-name. Supposed to be somewhere along this side of the office. Or maybe it's already in my inventory and I just haven't read it yet. Let's see. Pembroke Hospital, 25 October. Dear Dr. Swansea, I must inform you of my deepest reservations concerning the Dr. Thoreau Strickland and Harvey Fiddick case. Mr. Fiddick has been hospitalized after a severe work injury. He may permanently lose the use of his arm if not treated adequately. Dr. Strickland claims that a surgical procedure may save the man's arm completely. I say it may also sever its functions for good if complications arise. Our young colleague is an audacious and daring surgeon who might prove a great professional in a few years, but for now he lacks the skills to perform such a risky procedure. Need I remind you of the mistakes he's made in the past? Since Dr. Strickland refuses to listen to me, I strongly advise you to forbid him to perform such a hazardous experiment. Oh wait, it's reading the note to Dr. Swansea? This note is not for the Pembroke administrator, but for my old friend. Since our short discussion 2 days ago concerning the possible promotion of the esteemed Waverly Ackroyd as the new chief surgeon at Pembroke, I finally concluded that it wouldn't currently be in the best interest of the facility. Don't misunderstand me here. I'm convinced that Ackroyd is a very competent physician. I may even admit that he deserves a promotion, but not now. Not while we all struggle to keep the epidemic at bay. For now we need a clear hierarchical organization, and we must avoid the inevitable frustrated egos caused by such a promotion. We need an obeying and dedicated army. If I may even add, this is also a good test of character. I sometimes think Dr. Ackroyd is a little bit too proud, a little bit too eager to be promoted. To face a refusal may be a good way of finding how he deals with frustration. You wanted my opinion? Well, there you have it. I'd be ready to discuss these points directly with our colleague if he ever wanted me to justify my position on his promotion. And that gives me the other hint for Dr. Ackroyd. Have all of hers, have all of his but one. I'll have to check on that. Dr. Swansea's last one will be revealed through story missions. So, looks like Shadana, Brannigan, and Tippets. And I might already have one of those. Let's see. Pembroke Hospital, 4th August. Dear Dr. Swansea, I will be glad to manage the temporary morgue as soon as it's opened. Let's see. No, that was not it, apparently. Ah, the last one I have to spy on Rakesh. Gotcha. Another one of those. Let's see, that's the front entrance. Back entrance will be over here. Reminds me, check in here and see if there's any new... Come on. I need to check and see if there's a run-walk toggle, because for some reason, that's as fast as he wants to go unless I run and use stamina. Better. Yes, there is one. The B key does it. Now I just have to watch him until he goes off into that locked off area. Oh, something interesting about Rakesh. You know he sells medical components for my potions and such. Well, turns out as the district gets healthier, his prices get higher. Probably tells you something about where he's getting his medicines from.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation.
Always remember, an Orion Rogue's favorite object is anything which was once in your pockets that are now in his, and he thanks you for your generous donation. The Orion Rogue is basically a Kender in the game Battlelords of the 23rd Century, just so you know. And the Orion Rogues basically look like humans, but with 7-fingered hands.
Good evening. How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
You should show respect for the dead. What about their loved ones who may treasure these items you sell?
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir. I would never deprive anyone of their family artifacts.
Please show me.
Of course.
Well, I need ergotamine if he has it, so... Okay. There's that. Who else do I not have everything for here? Dr. Tippett and Brannigan. Okay. Now I just have to find Dr. Tippett, who would be out front, more than likely. Okay, he's fine for now.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like...
Wise... The glorious battalion
Actually,
of Pemp.
you know what?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know if I can sell
I'd
out
like
of my...
to...
Wise...
Oh, let's see. I have plenty of common handle parts. Limited supplies of that. You know what? I have so much of that. Or had so much of that. But no, you have to watch Tippett until he goes into a locked room in the hospital and spy on him, too. And that gets his last secret. And I'm debating whether or not I should go try to find Clay's knife for the maximum number of XP before I go spend all of that. Come on, Dr. Tippett. That's a good boy. Now, go in your little locked room and do whatever it is you're going to do so I can spy on you.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Well, while I'm waiting for him to go inside, I'm going to get another soda. Be right back. There he is. Anytime their heartbeat picks up like that, you know they're about to do whatever. Second, let's see.
is so difficult every time?
Looks like the good Dr. Tippett has been self-injecting with stimulants to try to stay awake.
That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Corcoran is a drug addict. Yep. Sounds a heck of a lot like what happened to the doctor in Babylon 5. Took stims to get more work done, and ended up addicted to them.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening.
Tell me, Nurse, did you know Dr. Tippett was addicted to medication?
I suspected this behavior for some time, but never dared to ask him about it, until the day he confessed to me.
Why would he confess to you about his addiction, Nurse Brannigan?
Don't you know you doctors can't hide anything from a nurse? We're always there, even if you don't notice us.
Do you consider yourselves our confessors, Nurse Brannigan?
I wouldn't dare, Dr. Reid, but I'm intrigued. How did you discover Dr. Tippett's secret?
What can I say? I seem to have a knack for discovering secrets.
And for hiding them as well.
Do you approve of his addiction?
Of course I don't approve. But I understand he needs it to fight the exhaustion. Let's hope he'll stop injecting himself once the epidemic is over.
And what if he doesn't?
Then we'll have to convince him to stop. I believe he's still in control of his addiction, for now, but we must remain vigilant.
Goodbye, Nurse.
There he is.
Good evening,
Dr. Reid.
What will you do after your resignation? Do you have a plan?
I always fancied visiting Cyprus. Such a beautiful island. I could buy a house there by the sea, read poetry, and wait for death.
I know you're taking drugs, Corcoran. Why take such a risk?
I need it to endure the long shifts. We have no idea how long the epidemic will last. We can't let it win.
I understand the gesture, Doctor. An immediate answer to an emergency situation, but this can't be a long-term solution.
Thank you for your understanding, my dear colleague. And be assured, I have total control of my consumption.
Goodbye, Doc.
Came here in the first place.
Guess I'll have to go talk to Nurse Brannigan one last time. There's something there. Either that, or there's another letter somewhere in my inventory. Pembroke Hospital, 14th October. Dear Dr. Swansea, despite the actual urgency of the sanitary situation, I must inform you of a recent case of professional misconduct inside the Pembroke. Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan has been found guilty of undeniable unprofessional conduct and thus guilty of endangering a patient. Under no circumstances should a nurse diagnose and establish a prescription without at least informing the referent doctor about her conclusion. You know me, Edgar. I'm not against personal initiative when it's for the interest of all, especially during a crisis like the one we are facing, but we can't allow a nurse to perform a diagnosis and decide on a procedure to apply to a patient. The fact that said patient survived is no attenuating circumstance. It just means we dodged the bullet this time. I demand the strictest authority on this matter. Very respectfully, Dr. Waverly Ackroyd. Well, you know, Dr. Ackroyd, sometimes nurses know better than the doctors. I think we're all aware of that. So maybe you should give her the benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm saying. Now to decide where to spend about 5,000 points. Do I want to go for the high damage plus stun? Or do I want to go for the slightly less high damage plus blood gain? Either could be useful. Oh, and you know, these could be useful too. These are 600 each, but increases health. Let's see, that's not unlocked yet, and won't be until he gets to level 20. And with Blood Barrier, do I want to go for the lower hits absorbed? Eventually 2 hits absorbed. That explodes and deals to everyone? Or the barrier that absorbs direct damage until it fades? So many choices in this game, actually. It doesn't look like there's that many choices, but it really is because of the way the skill tree splits. Oh, I agree with you that I need to increase my blood capacity. And also increasing my health couldn't hurt. I love how you can eventually carry 12 of each serum on you. I don't use guns that much. I probably should use them more because they do include stun, but let's see. I also want to get another power of some sort. The problem is the game doesn't have a target lock, so if you're facing a target and he teleports behind you, congratulations, you just wasted a bullet on thin air. Could be useful for sneaking past guards of Priwen. And see, here's another example of how it splits the setup. If I go with the top route, it costs me some blood to use the ability, but and it also costs me more stamina to use it. But I get stun and damage bonuses when I come out of it. Whereas this one doesn't cost me anything, and I can actually dodge while using it now without violating it. Yeah, exactly. And I think I'm going to go with sneak past. And I can increase one more thing. I can either increase my blood absorption when using bite in combat, or increase my bullets or syringes to carry more serums on me. Okay. Pembroke is sanitized again. The docks are staying sanitized. I just have to go back to the docks and get the last few bits of information about most of these people, including talking to Rodney again. But I don't have much left to do in the docks, which is cool. And the doctor is now level 19. Let's go and finish Clay Cox's quest. Ah. Why did I come this way? I don't know. I suppose the good thing is, remember those Skull that I killed out here in the gardens? At least once you kill them, they stay gone. Unlike enemies in the rest of the city, who seem to respawn. But those guys at least stay gone. Let's see, what are my... I thought so. Shadow Veil is now on 3.
Over there! It's one of them vermin! Look lively! It's on us! Take a breath of this!
large and beautiful knife with a name engraved on the
This
blade.
must be Clay Cox's knife. A fine blade. No wonder he wants it back.
More lead plates, more lead rods. Gonna have to kill you. Didn't intend to kill you. I intended to kill him, but okay, whatever. That was not intentional, but oh well, it worked out anyway.
Turn around, sir. And see how he likes it. What's he sound like? Here's one of them.
Hey, Clay.
Hey, Doc.
I have found the gift from your wife.
In that case, you'll be properly rewarded, Doc. Clay Cox is a man of his word.
I hope that won't make me an accomplice to your future crimes.
Who knows what I might do now I feel invincible again?
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Less resignation and more determination.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go finish off those guys on the docks. The ones that still have secrets I need to learn. Oh, hello, Treatment Seeker. I thought you were feeling invincible again. And now he's complaining he feels sick? Yeah, he's just an attention seeker.
Crush the leech, boys! Hey, leeches!
It's amazing what he can hide in that.
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away, whoever you are.
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
I am not your champion.
But of course you are, son. As surely as you are the blood of my blood.
I had to kill Mary.
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to...
Silence! I dismiss you, now!
The land calls for a champion. All and everyone needs you.
Silence!
I'm tired of all these puppet shows.
Well, thing is, it's not wrong. And I know you guys are already putting part of it together. I mean, I know Dairuger's really good at that.
Spotted!
Please die.
Blade! ready, boys? We've got one of them here.
You got more than one of them, but you get to explode.
The bloody crime! There's one of them! Watch yourselves! Eat this! Step away, sir.
Oh, you fucker. You get to explode now.
Murdering Boston! Oh, that's gonna smart.
Now give me some blood. More. Well, you are kind of close. I will key you in. You remember that one letter that I read about that thing that tried to destroy London back in 1666?
No civilians allowed.
Yep.
Kill it! That leads us close! Die,
And you're also correct that that the entity that he's been talking to really did choose him as a champion. yeah, Carrie, on the one hand there was the letter, and on the other hand, I kind of hinted at it when I'm like, and 1916. Okay. Let's see. No, this is not the way I need to go. Unfortunately, the way I need to go is right past him. Oh, he noticed. Damn it. That's my blood. I want it back. Oh, bullshit. Again. And of course I'm back here. And of course I have to go back there. Oh, get the fuck off me. Oh, get the hell off me.
You shall learn to respect the laws of...
How about you shall leave me alone?
Hard enough to cover the docks by myself.
Considering what's been coming after me, I'm surprised you're even still alive, dude. Ah, there you are, Rodney.
Good evening, sir. I'm glad to see you safe.
I am not safe. I should never have come back here. My life is in danger. I know it.
You're much safer here than in that contaminated area.
Bullets kill people quicker than diseases and epidemics, Dr. Reid.
Yeah, but you don't have to suffer.
Do you have recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter?
Well,
I
unless
heard
you
he
get
kept
gut
on
shot, I
helping
guess.
people. But I tried to stay away from his shelter. I don't feel safe there.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
Not really. I've spent so many days hiding to escape retaliation from the Wet Boot Boys. Now that there's so much chaos, they might forget about me.
What can you tell me about this district?
The East End Docks only knows one rule. Dog eat dog, and blood calls for blood. The gang will have their revenge on me one way or another.
What can you tell me about the locals?
Most people would say that Sean Hampton and Tom Watts are good men who try to sort things out. But for me, the real boss around there was my best friend, Jack Gillingham.
Jack Gillingham, you say?
Everyone round there knew Jack. He was a rock. A mountain, even. He feared nothing.
Your friend Jack has something to do with you fleeing to the contaminated area where I found you. I want to know more.
Jack is dead. That's all you need to know. Dead because of me. So much violence. So much sorrow. All of that because I refused to be insulted again.
No man can predict the exact outcome of his actions. It's the curse we have to live with. We can only gamble and do what we think is best.
Perhaps you're right. The district was doomed before I was born. But I cannot stop myself thinking that Jack died for me.
Why do you say that?
After I killed that gang member, the Wet Boot Boy suspected Jack. And being loyal and all, he did not refute the accusation.
The death of your friend has affected you deeply, hasn't it?
Jack Gillingham was the real deal. He believed we could change the world if we were united and focused enough. And he brought out the best in each of us.
You're right. He died to save you. That alone gives me an idea of the kind of man he was.
He was the bravest. And no one dares to say openly that he got killed by those bastards.
Your friend's plan was audacious, if not reckless. No one stands up by themselves to a gang like the Wet Boot Boys.
How dare you say that? You never met him.
You are not going to spend the rest of your life hiding, Rodney. What are you planning to do?
Honestly, I have no idea. How am I supposed to live while so many have suffered because of me?
Only you can answer that question. But one thing is certain. Since you owe Jack your life, I think it's fair to live it in a way that would make him proud.
That's the kind of thing Jack could have said, Dr. Reid. Thank you for that. I believe you're a good guy too.
Goodbye, Mr. Great.
Got all of his. Now I just need him to go in there and talk to her. Nightingale, I mean. And that'll get him out of the way. And then hopefully, if hopefully the two women have returned to their normal routine, so I can get their last few secrets. I mean, hey, it's only a few XP for each one, but it kind of gives you a little bit more of the backstory of those characters, too. Although, we are coming up on the 4-hour mark, so I think if he goes in her house, and if I don't have to wait too long, that might be where I ended after I get this secret.
Please, sir, come and have a gander.
The good news is I will probably be very close to, very close if not over 20th level before I even stray into West End. You know what? I think I'll see if the women have returned to their normal routines. They should have. Oh, that one's always locked. And what a coincidence. They are going to talk in private.
It's locked.
Leave me alone.
For Christ's sake, get a grip. Look at yourself.
It's quite hard to do without a mirror. Can I borrow yours? Oh, wait. We don't have a house.
Yes, we're poor, but there is work to do. Honest money waiting to be earned.
I had honest work before I was fired by those fascist pigs, remember? So let me drink in peace.
You were fired for the bottle, not for your political opinions. When will you realise that?
Maybe I do drink too much. And maybe it did cost me my job. But the struggle is real, and don't you dare undermine it.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Reid.
Why do you and your sister Giselle have such opposing views, Lottie?
Giselle whines she lost her job due to her unionist activities, which started her drinking. Truth is, she got fired because she's an alcoholic.
And you don't share your sister's views?
On the contrary, I totally believe that workers need to unite to fight. I just disagree with Giselle's hatred for all wealth and riches.
What do you mean?
I don't believe that you were an automatic arsehole because you were born into a good family.
Perhaps your sister's addiction to alcohol is the result of her despair, but not the cause.
Perhaps you're right. But I'm tired of her playing the outraged and martyred social fighter while I earn money for both of us.
Don't you think she wants to get better?
I believe she knows her alcoholism is a worry to me. And that's another reason why she continues to drink so much.
Goodbye, Miss Pack.
Ah, okay. That's what I'm missing about. Need to talk to...
You again?
Tell me why there is such resentment between you and your sister Lottie.
She recently fell under the sad saint's influence. Like she's an angel, and I'm the bad, drinking sister.
Lottie sees herself as an angel. What do you mean?
These days, Lottie feels compelled to help people and follow Sean Hampton's example. What does that make me look like?
It sounds like you may be jealous of your sister.
Of course I am. It's me who fought for our family. It's me who got fired because I led these strikes, and now I'm the bad seed and she's the good angel.
Why would you be the bad sister?
I'm not a bad woman, you know. I'm tough. I get things done. But I have this rage. It makes me do things.
What kind of things?
I don't know, Dr. Reid. It's like, since I can't change this world, I'd rather destroy myself before the world destroys me.
Well, I'll leave...
And again, that leaves me with all of theirs. Now all that's left is Enid and Martin. I think I've got everyone else in this district at least. Of course, up here I've got the rest of Clayton's and Christina's and Joe's and Harry's. Some for Albert and Benjamin. Loretta and Mason. But that'll have to wait for another episode, because we are just about at that 4-hour mark. So, with that in mind, this is where I am going to call it for now. I will see you for the next stream. If you are new and you'd like to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe. And have a great rest of your